Living next to an HOA is a little like owning a quiet dog next to a yappy one. You keep to yourself, mind your business, and then one day you realize your neighbor's dog is barking on your porch. Again. I'm Nate Blanchard. I own a 12-acre property right on the boundary of the Highfield Meadows HOA. They maintain the cookie-cutter houses and manicured lawns next door. I produce organic tomatoes, squash, and a few experimental fruit plots for the state. You see, I'm not just a farmer. I work for the state agriculture office, managing rural infrastructure and assisting with pilot irrigation studies. My land isn't part of the HOA, but it shares a boundary with it. Most of the time, that doesn't cause problems. But when Karen Eldridge got elected HOA president last spring, things changed fast. Karen is a former real estate agent with a tendency to act like the neighborhood is her kingdom. She had opinions about everything, including how my land looked from their walking trail. Irrigation pipes are unsightly, she told me one morning, while walking her Pomeranian way too close to my fence line. We're getting complaints. I tried to be polite. They're buried except for the junction heads, Karen. Besides, they're necessary for my crops and my job. She waved her hand like she was swatting away a mosquito. Well, we may take steps to clean things up. You'll be notified. That statement stuck with me. Take steps. I should have taken it more seriously. A few weeks later, I noticed my irrigation pressure dropped overnight. By mid-morning, half my crops were dry, and the sensors were reporting zero flow from two of the feeder lines. I walked the perimeter and stopped cold near the back fence. There it was. My PVC irrigation line had been sawed in half. Clean cuts. Dirt piled on the side. Someone had physically dug it up and cut it. A freshly staked sign near the spot read, "Notice. Unauthorized piping must be removed to preserve visual harmony. HOA." I was stunned. This wasn't some casual mistake. This was intentional vandalism. What Karen didn't know was that those lines were not only on private land, they were part of an experimental water conservation project run through the State Department of Agriculture. I immediately reported the damage to my office and sent photos. Within 48 hours, the state dispatched a team for inspection and documentation. Turns out, the pipes had smart sensors linked to our study and cost more than $15,000 to install. Tampering with them wasn't just destruction of property, it was interference with a state-funded research initiative. The fallout came fast. The HOA received a formal legal notice from the State Agriculture Office citing the trespassing, destruction of public infrastructure, interference with government research. Karen tried to deflect blame, saying she thought it was just junk pipes and was improving the view. But when the state informed her that the pipes were listed under a USDA-backed program and part of an environmental grant, the gravity hit her. The HOA had to pay full restitution for the damage, $21,000, including emergency repairs, crop losses, and administrative costs. They also had to issue a formal apology, and Karen was forced to step down from the HOA board for overreach. But it didn't end there. Local news picked up the story. HOA cuts vital irrigation. Didn't know it was a state project. Suddenly, HOA Karen was infamous. The very walking trail where she staged her coup now featured a new sign. This land participates in a state agricultural initiative. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Now, when HOA folks pass by, they look but don't speak. My irrigation runs freely, my crops are thriving again, and I've got a new security system installed, just in case aesthetic harmony strikes again. Sometimes all it takes is one Karen to forget. Not every pipe is just a pipe. Some carry the weight of the state,